Well, Roots into Languages is an intention to try and encourage students to study languages, not only at university but also for A-level and for GCSE. It's no longer on the curriculum, you don't have to study a language at GCSE, so especially here at Leeds Met, we've been trying to encourage students to take languages so that there will be more students to come in years to come. I started off working just for the university on the Get Ahead team, which is just for promoting university with Aim Higher, but then they offered me a job working with just the faculty to promote languages, which I really enjoyed. A lot of the students that I've come into contact with they haven't thought about the benefits that there are of speaking another language and the doors that they open and stuff, so it's proved like a lot of them have been quite responsive and have quite enjoyed the fact that we've come in and said, oh, but you can do this if you speak a language, or you could work for the UN or the EU, and they've not really thought about it, of it being that useful. Well, initially we go in and tell them, all the advantages of speaking another language and the jobs that you can do and stuff, but a lot of them just want to know what it's like to be at uni, what the nightlife's like in Leeds, how many hours I have in lessons, what kind of lessons I have. It's just basic general stuff that you need to learn from somebody that's at uni already. So it's not always stuff about languages, some of it's just general uni stuff. Well, this year I've had to be quite organised, like final year, and trying to get all these extra school visits and stuff. So it helped my time management a lot because I've had to really plan what I'm going to be doing. But as well, it's because I'm thinking of doing teaching afterwards anyway, so it's really helped my confidence in standing up in front of a class of 30. I've done events with more where there's been 126 formers, and they look at you as if to say, well, what do you want to tell me? And you tell them, then a lot of them are quite responsive, and so it's been quite good for that, like that side of things. I'd recommend becoming a language ambassador because it's been really good for me this year, as I'm thinking of going to teach anyway. It's helped me with that side of things, with standing up in front of a class and finding out different things about different schools and how different schools work. But it's also good for the people that you meet, because I've met a lot of people, not necessarily in my year, but that are in my faculty that I wouldn't have necessarily met. And also you make links with the local schools in the community. So when you come back to do your teaching or whatever, you've already got a link with the teachers here and the LEA. Last year I went to Spain, lived in Spain for a year in Pamplona, which is about an hour from the French border. I worked for the British Council as a language assistant, so I worked in a primary school with children aged between 3 and 12. I did about 12 or 13 hours a week, and I just basically got to play games for a year. I got to sing songs and basically try and teach English, but with fun things. It was a really good year, I met loads of great new people, and I got to go to the big fiesta at the end, which was good. Well, I'm thinking of doing teaching, so again it keeps cropping up, but standing in front of a class and doing all that has been quite good, and as well learning how different schools work, but as well building up my confidence with my peers, so with the language ambassadors, and arranging how we're going to get to places and what we're going to do and stuff like that. So I've gained a lot from it. When I've graduated, I'm hopefully going to be travelling through Europe, but then that's just for about 3 months, and then I'm going to come back to do teaching. I'm not decided where to do it yet, but I'm going to just take a year off and then come back to do teaching.